Hey, what's up guys? It's Brandon with Trust Motion and we are doing a tutorial on effects and adjustment layers that are automated through image processing. It's a simple way of bulk loading mass amounts of images that you have taken photos at, like say an event or a wedding or something like that, and you just want to do a simple process to them, but to all of them. This is normally for images 200 plus and whatnot, because you just don't have the time to edit all of these photos individually. So what we want to do first is get a nice crispy image. We're going to open it up and we want to go to our file somewhat where we are going to be pulling all the images from. So we got some really nice photos in here with lots of colors and stuff. So we got a bit of red, we got a bit of green, we got yellow. That way we have a good contrast of all colors. That way we have something to work with. We want to then go to the Windows tab and we want to bring in actions. So we want to open up actions by clicking on this little thing here, and it will open up your actions tab. But generally it will automatically open it up if you go into window and then action. We want to create a new action and we want to call that color editing. This will record every single action that you do from beyond this point. So you want to click record, and now everything is going to be recorded. See how he's got like quite a defined eye that you can see through the shielding, and then the red and the green and the blacks. You want to make things black, black. You want to keep reds, reds, and greens, greens, and yellows, yellow. That way, all of your colors and whatnot, when it comes down to all these simple editing types, all the same throughout every single image that you're doing this automated process. So first we're going to do brightness and contrast, and we want to lower the brightness. That way it brings out a lot of the black. But we also want to heighten the contrast so that it brings out the mid-tones within the smoke, as you can see as it falls off and comes back on. So we want to go around 18, 19, 15, something like that. Might be a little bit too much for that one, because we don't want the other images around it being too dark as well. Then from that point, we want to go to levels, and that in actions has already recorded that. So we want to go to default, as in presets, and you want to select something. You want to select darker, lighter, increase contrast, something around that. That way you can just keep looking over all your images and depicting which one is the better one. You can just do scrolling, and this is all in the same action, so it won't really change much. As you can see, you can't see his eye up in here, so you want to be capable of still seeing his eye. So this is increased contrast 1 for me, and that's still quite nice. Nice with the smoke, nice with the roof. You can still see some texture here, but you don't want to see too much texture to the point where it takes your focus away from the point of what is important, which is the person slash the subject. Then you want to go to curves. This is already automatically collected within the actions tab. And you want to pretty much click and scroll down what you have. So you can quickly select and you can go up and down the entire thing. You can go from top to bottom, which is color negative is the first one, cross process, darker RGB, increase contrast RGB, lighter RGB. So it brings out the little bit more of a texture within the top, and you got all your smoke, and you can see a lot more definition within the smoke just here, and then you can see a bit more of the person in the background, and you can see his hair is a lot more defined, and then you can still see his eye. So it hasn't been changed too much. It hasn't been changed greatly within darkness to lightness. So I chose lighter because I prefer to see more. So that is pretty much our basic automation that we want to create. Only 3 types of different adjustments. You can change the exposures of things, but preferably you want to do that afterwards to the ones that are overexposed. So you'll generally want to underexpose things that are overexposed. So you generally do it to individual images that are damaged within exposure levels. So before we continue, we want to stop the automation and recording of actions before we output any other images and whatnot. Then we go up to File, and then we go to Scripts, and then we go to Image Processor. I'm not quite sure if it's different for Photoshop CC. I think it might be in Export, but if you cannot find it in Scripts, then it must be in Export because it's quite similar to what Image Processor would be classed as. Scripts, Image Processor, you want to select the folder that you have all your images in. Find mine, which is JPEG. Select that JPEG folder. That way it can select all the files that I originally wanted to change with this kind of editing. I want to save it in the same location. Save as JPEG, quality 10. Convert profile to sRGB because I'm putting it online. It flattens out all the RGBs a little bit. Then I want to run the action called color editing because we have created the one called color editing. Click on that. As you can see from here, in here, actions, if I was capable of scrolling up, it would say color editing and everything under that would be automated from this point on. So from this point, we want to click run and it will create and do all of those automations to every single image that I have done. Hopefully this tutorial has been very informative for you and hope to catch you back on my page again. This was Brandon with Trust Motion and enjoy yourselves. Another Photoshop by Brandon. Laters.